So I'm going to do a new project here, and I'm going to call this, because I'm very lazy, I'm going to call it amb. And this is, we're going to make something that's definitely ambient, and we'll keep it a bit simpler this time. Nope. It's a little bit quiet now. Let's put it the track to. We'll put up the compressor as well. Right, okay. Again, I'm going to do, because we're probably going to do brain here, I'm going to do Dorian, D Dorian. I love it. It sounds nice, and it's, you know, it's simple enough that I can remember which notes, because it's still, you know, essentially like a C, except because we're in this Dorian mode here, it starts on the D here. And let's change that so that the brain knows that this is what we're doing. And if I go down here to, so I'm on the brain track here, so auxiliary, brain, change the root note to D, and I'm going to change the scale to Dorian. Oops, wrong one. Dorian. Right, let's get bass up. I'm going to load up a specific synth engine, so I press Shift, Module, and then I'm going to do, let's go into Axis and see what we can do. Okay, so if we go, we put this in here. Now, how could we mess this up so that we lose the beat? Not going to hear that. Let's put something over the top. I'm going to go to wavetable. I like wavetable. Okay, so let's do something where it falls out of sync with each other. So if we say that this one, we're going to have, it's happening every 3 beats, like this. But if we change, we can change the length of this track, right? So currently it's got full 16 steps, but let's say that we're just going to go down to here. Now obviously it's a bit intense, and let's just slow it down. So it's going in and out of phase. It's a bit fast though. Right, let's turn it down. And let's do random transposition of this so that we get a little bit of tonal variation. No, not bend, although bend is cool. You know, we can do random. Let's do another one here. Okay, now we need a pad of some description, right? Actually, one of these. Let's turn off the... Let's go back to the bass and then mess with the bass. So we can do this where the bass is held. These first two are quite cool. So this is called pulse and hold. So it will either repeat the sound, but it stops the sequencer to repeat it. So it stays on the step, right? So it's not like a ratchet type effect where it does it twice in the same beat. So if I do this here, let's go pulse. So let's try transposing. Let's mess around with the pad a bit. Okay, so we can say when you get here, we're going to say that there is a random chance that you're going to jump back to, we could say that it'll jump back to here, for example, back to step 5. So jump step component, I put a step component on this step here. There's no note or anything, but when it hits that, it'll jump straight back to here. So it would just go in a loop back over here, over and over and over again. But we can also say, well, only do that step component, we'll do it every 5th step, or we could say that it will do it on 4 steps and on the 5th it'll stop. So watch, boom. So it's really putting stuff out of sync. Let's make this a bit more tonally interesting. It's a bit boring just now. And let's go to the brain. Okay, so I'm going to put this one, I'm going to put as just D Dorian to start with, so nothing's happening. But then I'm going to say this one can also be randomly. It's going to randomly transpose when it gets here. But it knows the scale that I'm in, so it's transposing in a sensitive way. This is quite nice. The bass is a bit boring. Let's go back and, I mean, boring is not necessarily bad in this case, right? We're trying to make something that's nice and relaxing. I could see myself working to this, whilst I'm typing away. Let's mess around it. Everything needs more reverb. So let's get this definitely needs more reverb. That's better. Right, let's get this bouncing around. Okay, we're on the mixing screen, right? So track 4, we hold this one, we change the panning, so we can pan it to the left. Now when it comes back around to that one, and then we'll go. It's kind of boring if it's just very predictable where it's going to be, but we can say this one is the parameter component, so it won't do the parameter lock every time, so we're going to do it so it's random. So it randomly does that parameter lock, and if you watch over here, this is actually the panning. You can see that it's not changing it every step. So here, didn't change it, and did change it that time. So you can see it's bouncing around, which is kind of fun. Definitely to spice up the bass a little bit. A bit of delay on it. Yeah, that's better. Lots of delay. Maybe not quite that much. It's starting to sound a bit like Donkey Kong music. Is it the underwater? Anybody ever played Donkey Kong Country? I think it's like underwater level in that has music that's tonally similar to this. You know what? Let's make it a little bit gnarlier. Yeah, this sounds nice. Let's get a bit of the saturator on. Yeah, that's better. Music for donkeys. Yep. Highbrow donkeys. Actually, I always think that donkeys look quite thoughtful for being, you call somebody a donkey. It's an offensive term, right? It means they're stupid. But I don't know. I always thought they had a kind of thoughtful look about them. Very little discernible repeat here, right? Apart from the bass. So, for example, we could add another one here that will be a jump. And we can say that only happens every 3rd time round. The 3rd's always good because it'll put things right out, right? Donkeys are actually pretty smart. They protect the rest of the farm. Did they really, yeah? I think I've only ever seen one in a kind of like a sort of farm zoo. There's one near here. It's called Oxterradder Wildlife Centre. And there was a donkey there. Donkey was cool, but when I was wee, the goat freaked me out. It had those weird eyes, and I did not like that very much. You know what? This gives me a thought. Why don't we add in some weird ambient nonsense talk? Right, let's mess around with the input. Now, if I go to here, to track 5, I can select my headset microphone here. So I've got my microphone going in here, and we can turn it on. I'm going to turn this off so that my main microphone's not on, and we can do something stupid. If we say on this, and let's put up lots of reverb and delay and delay and delay and delay and delay. Donkeys, 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 donkeys. Not actually, not actually, not actually, not actually, not all that tongue, all that tongue, all that tongue, all that tongue, all that tongue. Why donkey, 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 why donkey? Why do you protect, They only make fun, they only make fun, they make fun, they make fun. I'll mute that temporarily. Hopefully you can still hear me again. So that's it's tons of fun doing it. I like it's the type of thing that's almost too embarrassing to actually do. You can get some really interesting sounds and effects with it. Right, let's sample some of this. I don't have anything on this just now. I'm going to go on to 8, and I'm going to go on to not multi-sample but the drum sampler, because these are going to be atonal, right? And then I'll sample them and then record over the top. Now, if I do this, then you can see there's nothing on this just now. If I press sample, I can record to any of these slots, and I can record something like that's 20 seconds long. Huh. Huh. No. It's over there. Let's see. I'll get something from the chat as well. Is that new music for donkeys? Music for donkeys. Now, obviously, it doesn't have the lashings of reverb that we need in order for it to sound. See? It sounds dreadful, right? You put tons of reverb over the top. It sounds deep and thoughtful. No. It's over there. 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 See, this will work perfectly. Now we can edit the samples in here. So at the moment, the start point is, or here's the start point here. Just try a different. The end point, we'll get rid of a bit. You can zoom in as well if you want to have a look and see what's going on. This is fine. Let's get this. No. Pure aphex twin. The more ridiculous, the better. Yeah. See, you start off, right? You start off, it's tongue in cheek, and then what you do is you post-rationalize it and you say, actually, I meant this very deep and meaningful thing, right? So this is what we're going to do. Music for donkeys started off as a joke in the comments, but now it's going to be deep and meaningful, right? Okay, let's. No. Not the donkeys. No. It's over there. It's over there. It's over there. What's over there? Donkeys. 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 It's over there. 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 I might filter this a wee bit as well. Get rid of my horrible. I don't know if this mic picks that up as much, but this one definitely does. Okay, right. So let's sequence some of this in now. Music. 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 Or donkeys. 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 Let's make sure that doesn't happen too frequently. We can say on a step, let's do this one. No, we'll go this one, so it's a bit easier to keep track of. We want it to jump to step 1, and we want it to do it randomly. Oh no, this one. We want that to do it randomly. And then we're going to copy this, right? So see how it's jumped back, and this time it's passed through. Right? So if we do this, can we not copy that step? Because it's just got a step component on it. Okay, well, we can do the same thing here, and here, and say, oh no, that might be a little bit too unlikely to happen. Let's put 2 of them beside each other to jump the first step again randomly. So this means that it'll be pretty rare that it gets past both of these. So it's not got past the first one yet. No, it's still not got past the first one. Oh no, it's got past the first one, but not this second one. Oh, it's through.
Music. Or donkeys.
Right, let's, we need even more reverb so that people know that we're serious.
Music.
Even more delay.
Or donkeys.
And let's add a filter to this track as well. Add the high pass filter as well. And get rid of some of that kind of muddy.
Music.
There we go, that's better. More macaroni. Does that mean that you want me to add a sample with the word macaroni? Or is that a musical term that I'm not familiar with? I don't know what macaroni might be if it was a musical term. Cheese it up. We can do that. Okay, let's do no on this step, and then so it's not too frequent again. When the jump back to 1, we want that to happen every second time. A small part of me is waiting for the breakbeat to start. Okay, let's see what we can do to mess around with this, because it's still the samples. Right, let's turn off a sec. That sounds better. Okay, and let's do that there, and do it every 4th time round. So now, it's really getting wobble bass. We can make the bass wobblier. That just makes me think of Swede Mason. Wobble bass. Let's add a bit more bass in. This is stupid in a good way. Is this ambient? Is this ambient, Laser Fox? Please tell me. And of course, we can get. We can slow the tape right down. That's good, thank you. The LaserFox ambient certified. Right, let's mess up. Dungeon Core is cool. It's the first time I heard about that. It was only quite recently. And of course we can mute this track, right? So if we hold down our auxiliary button and we press the tape, we can turn it on and off. Right, well, we can record these as well, of course, because we can parameter lock it. Yeah, that sounds very cool. I kind of feel like we need some sort of not interpretive dance. That's a step too far, but we need people on maybe poetry, live poetry. You have 6 lasers. Now, why do you have these lasers? I feel like, you know, I'm not going to phone the police or anything, but why do you need 6 lasers? Lasers, okay, this makes total sense. Laser show production. That's pretty cool. Right. Okay. So that is that definitely, this is ambient now.